I really don't know what I would do if I didn't have some work that I had to get to. Then
Hello, hello, hello. This is Shirley Crawford, the owner of Second Chance Consulting and the executive director of the Women's Business Center, located at 1510 Willowlawn Drive, directly across from the street from the Kroger at Willowlawn, welcoming you to another episode of WorkHARDAholics. And I don't know about you all, but right now I feel like I am working hard. But welcome back. Welcome back to a place where we appreciate and respect the amount of work and effort you put into making your business, your life, your community successful. But here's the deal here. So we want to be able to provide you with tools and resources and information so you can be as productive as possible while also keeping your balance, keeping your sanity, especially in these days that are happening right now. So let's get the party started. So first and foremost, we always start each week with the word for the week. And so the word for this week is facade. So for those of you who don't know, I spent like a summer in France like eons ago. And so I'm always fascinated by English words that have a French base. And here's another. And so facade. And part of the reason why that word in particular is sticking with me, like right now, is because a lot of facades are crumbling, like right before your very eyes. Like it's amazing to me to realize how much time and effort a lot of us have put into building these walls and this imagery that isn't quite true. We spend a lot of time connecting with people in false ways, like showing them what they want to see or being who they need and not always being true to ourselves. Oh, speaking of which, what does facade mean? Facade is just that. It's a false appearance. It can also be the face of a building, right? So it's like when people talk about beauty only being skin deep. It's like what you see, but it's not really the essence or the real heart of the matter. So most of the time when you hear facade, it's used in terms to say that the person isn't being real, it's fake, it's not the real person, it's not the real thing, it's the shell. How about that? All right, and so I've been thinking about that a lot right now because a lot of people are coming to these true realities about themselves, about their businesses, about what's happening. So because our reality is being altered right now. So you're the one who smiles all the time, but you're like breaking on the inside. Or you're so used to being the resource person that now that you don't have an answer, you don't know how to respond in general. And so I find this to be a great time to do what I'm actually talking about as your time tool technique. Is that transition? Did you like it? Your time tool technique this week is I'm going to recommend a self check-in, right? So a lot of us are doing great with making sure that the business is still running or taking care of the employees or taking care of our older parents or family members. We're taking care of everyone else and we don't really know what's going on with us. And so that's a beautiful thing about a workaholic, right? You're not the average bear. You get a lot of stuff accomplished. And people reach out to you because they know that you are like the calm of the storm. Like you're going to have the information. You're going to know it. You're going to jump on it. They know if they assign it to you, you're going to take care of it. But what does that mean for you? Right? That's that self-check-in. So stop for a moment. And so, in the vein of a self-check-in, I want to introduce our bucket moments. Do you like how everything's flowing together today? I really am feeling very thematic today. Not dramatic, but thematic. Okay, and so the book I want to share with you all today is a slightly different one. It's called Just for Today, 365 Actions to Fuel Your Daily Rhythm. It's by Rita Ricks, who is an amazing individual. She is one of my clients, but that's not why I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing it with you because it's really beneficial, especially right now. She also has a journal and like a whole series of things. You can always check her out. But like for me today, right? So it's basically 365 affirmations or things to reflect on. And you're supposed to read it and write in your journal as you think about it, as you are being more intentional about your life and your actions and the things you do. So responding rather than reacting. right? So the one that I'm focused on today is spend your time being productive rather than busy. And so a lot of times, this was always a complaint I had when I was an employee. Because if you give me my job description and say, these are the things I need to get done, I would always say, if I get this done in less than 40 hours, am I penalized for it? In theory, you want someone to say, no, I don't care. The point is, this is the work that I'm expecting to get done. And the average person, keyword, the average person needs 40 hours a week. If you are above average and get it done in less, then I don't care if you're sitting at your desk reading a magazine, if you take the day off. But what I've learned in the past is that a lot of people can't deal with that. So like right now, for example, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine. So I have several friends who teach, and they were talking about how some people are upset because they don't think that the schools are shut down, mind you. Right now, we're in the midst of a pandemic. I don't know when you're watching this. So we're in the midst of COVID-19 right now. And so the schools are shut down for the year. So teachers still have like tons of work they have to do. They have to check in like every hour to show that they're working. They still have to do stuff. They still have to have office hours and all kinds of craziness. And for a lot of you, it seems like working remotely is harder for you than going into the office. I'm just saying. So fight the power. You can do it. You can make it. But there are people who are protesting and saying, hey, I don't think teachers should get paid right now, or they shouldn't get paid when they come back because they're not doing the work. And so how that even ties in for me, once again, with the saying for the day is, a lot of us are so consumed. We measure success by how much time it takes you to do it, rather than measuring success by getting the job done. And so it's an interesting, different mindset, a totally different mindset. And it goes back to the facade. So the person that you walk by at their desk and then all of a sudden they look like they're, and they're playing like a video game, like really. And so, but that person looks busy and they get promoted rather than looking at the person who's accomplishing the task. So all that to say, that it's time for us to look beyond the facades, to look beyond that piece, and really start to take the time to even look beyond the facades that we've put up, and to really think what constitutes productivity, what constitutes success. And in that vein, it kind of takes me on to our final section here, right? Like work hard, play harder. In that vein of recognizing that you cannot live your life, not all of it, based on someone else's metrics, that I want to heavily advise that you don't compromise yourself out of the equation. So another conversation that I was having, see, it's been a lot of conversations recently. Another conversation I was having recently was I was dissatisfied about someone else's actions. And they were dissatisfied that I was dissatisfied. And so here's what it comes down to. I have the right to feel whatever way I feel. You have the right to feel whatever way you feel. And if I don't have authority over your actions, then your actions are your own, but I can still feel whatever way I feel about it. And that sounds odd to people. They're like, well, which part is none of your business? What part are you allowed to do? There's compromise, and then there's taking yourself all the way out. So when we're negotiating, which is something I talk to women about a lot, about negotiating, especially for salary and for expectations and in life, a lot of times we negotiate ourselves out of the equation. Like we're so busy making sure that, hey, you're happy. Facade, I'll be happy too. And so we have to start to think for ourselves, what do I need and what's that part? And making sure that I want to come to the table. Like right now, I'm 80% positive I'm about to walk away from a deal. I'm 80% positive because I don't think I like the terms. I'm still contemplating it. But the fact that there are certain things that they're even debating with me about that I think to myself, those are basic necessities. And if you can't give me that, then we're going to have problems on the road. So I think I'm getting closer to 90%. I'm walking away. There'll be other opportunities. And that's what you should know about your life. You're worth more. Know your value. Love who you are. Like really, like all the aspects that make you the entrepreneur, the parent, the cousin, the sister, the daughter. All those things are beautiful, and they all work together in conjunction to make you the workaholic that you are. Stop apologizing. Be you, but be the best you possible. And as I always say, live better, do better, please be better. And happy entrepreneuring. Until next time, almost forgot. In addition to like, sharing, and subscribing, also want to let you know, I've heard your request. For those of you who have been asking for a class on how to write a business plan, I'm going to do a webinar the first week in May. So if you're interested and you're one of the ones, because I'm only taking 25 people. 25. Nope, not even 25. It might be 15. 15 or 20. I'm only taking a small number so that I can actually respond back to your questions and help you through the process. So I'm only taking a few. If there are a lot of you, I'll run another one. But for right now, the first week of May, I'm running one it's like a fifth of what it normally costs. It's like $99. So if you're interested, drop me an email, Shirley at WBCRVA.com. All right, now don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and be sane. Stay sane, safe, and sound. All right, until next time, ta-ta!
Because I really don't know what I would do if I didn't have some work that I had to get to.